I mean, first off, fuck Stephen Bartlett for even platforming this guy. Like, I always expected that Stephen Bartlett was probably an asshole, but these videos have only just hit my feed and oh my god, wow. Second of all, it's ironic that watching these two clips, the only thing that I feel is anger.
So anger is just a completely normal emotion, right? But if I'm in a situation where I'm in an argument with my wife and I feel emotion A and I express emotion A and she feels emotion B and she expresses emotion B, these two things should be equal, right? We as both human beings get to express what we feel.
I'm gonna let you finish, but your logic is already broken. Because if you've got one person feeling emotion A and the other person feeling emotion B, well, what if the first emotion is, say, happiness, and the other emotion is an unhealthy attraction to goats? The reaction to both of those emotions being expressed should not be the same, because they have different consequences.
Now, in the case of me expressing anger and her expressing sadness, she's crying and I'm yelling. Suddenly, I've become a villain.
Now, as has already been pointed out by another creator, there's a difference between crying and yelling. If you're crying, you're not crying at somebody, whereas you are yelling at somebody. One has an object, the other one doesn't. One is an attack, the other one is not. If your partner gets angry, you're in far more danger, i.e. far more likely to end up in a hospital room than if your partner gets sad. And Stephen doesn't just agree with this BS, he builds on it.
When they Googled, my husband is yelling at me, what should I do? Domestic violence helpline comes up as like a Google pop-up. When you Google, my wife is yelling at me, what should I do? Nothing comes up. Yeah. Because obviously, as you said, in the case of villainization, I know that most domestic violence comes from men.
Now, my short answer to that is that men are statistically stronger than women. So a woman is in far more danger from a man who's yelling than a man is in danger from a woman who's yelling. Now, obviously, we are talking generalizations here. Obviously, it goes the other way around, but I'm talking about the vast majority of cases. Now, yes, Google's AI should cater to the minority of cases as well, but it's an AI. It's not a moral machine. But my longer answer is that I'm a big guy. I'm strong. I can fight. I can take care of myself. I am muscular. But the reason why I chose to grow up big and strong is a defense mechanism in order to feel safe. Because I know what it's like when somebody bigger than you, stronger than you, chooses to use that strength to hurt you. That is my childhood trauma. And I developed a lot of anger as a result of that. In fact, it's kind of the core of my being. Like, you guys see me doing my whole let's try and save the UK thing, but that's not coming from a place of honey, butterflies, and rainbows. It's coming from a deep sense of anger. Learning to control that anger so that I never become the kind of person who would use their physical strength to hurt somebody else, that's kind of the core of who I am. When you guys see me in debates being abused by right-wingers, and you're like, help, I mean, how the hell did you not get angry during that? That's because the notion of getting angry is simply taken off the board for me. It's not an option. Some of my friends call me robotically logical because I'm able to simply take the emotions and
turn it off.
Like, I see the injustice and the suffering that is caused by people like Nigel Farage, Boris Johnson, Donald Trump, and it reminds me of the kind of suffering that I experienced as a child, and my anger drives me to want to make those people suffer. My entire personality is based on channeled rage to prevent innocent people from suffering. So when I hear somebody trying to make an excuse for yelling at their partner, specifically for a man who is statistically larger and stronger, to be able to yell at his female partner because it's just an emotion, it makes me furious. Because do you think women don't feel angry? Because my anger came from experiencing being victimized by somebody larger than me. Women experience that far more than men do. But statistically, they don't have the physiological or societal power to hit back. They have so much more anger that they have to control. So making excuses for men not controlling theirs around women is some chicken shit. Oh, and then there was this clip.
There is a whole generation of men that is like, we are literally watching them die out, who will go to therapy, who will work on themselves professionally, who will show up on dating apps. And because of the shape of their face, which cannot be fundamentally altered, is there a mechanism in a human being that if your genes know they're dying out, what would they trigger in your mind? Right? And I think what they would trigger is exactly what we're seeing. This like existential panic, angst, even aggression, entitlement. Because if these men do not behave in this way, they're literally going to die out.
I'm even going to ignore the implication of, why don't we just try Handmaid's Tale in that and focus on your idea that somebody who has been to therapy, a decent person trying their best, would respond to not being able to procreate with women with aggression towards women. You're trying to create a narrative where a decent person would act against women with force due to incellular frustration. And Stephen Bartlett platformed this guy. Fuck him.